one of the James Ruse students who visited Hope for Cambodian Children last year, and I've been told is a natural keynote speaker. He's roused many to tears with his eloquence, so get your tissues ready.
In term 3, or to be precise, the following holidays, my mum dragged my entire family on an international holiday, and that was when my journey began. Not for the first time, she'd planned a magnificent tour de education. One glance at the itinerary showed me that would rush from museum to museum, art gallery to art gallery, and medieval castle to medieval castle. Little did I know that this tour of Germany and Austria would change my view of the world forever. On the streets of Munich, I learned about an Austrian painter. I learned that when young, his often intoxicated father beat and abused him and his mother. I learned that when older, his beloved younger brother died. And I learned that as a young adult, in 1907, his mother died. Living off the streets and twice denied entry into the Academy of Fine Arts of Vienna, this young artist moved to Munich. We know him today, of course, as Adolf Hitler. But I don't suppose I'm here really to talk about Hitler. After all, this speech is about international education. And I'm really here to talk about what I've learned all these years through my travel, about human rights and kindness, compassion, about life. And as I stood in the gas chambers of Dachau concentration camp, a seed was sown in my heart. A seed that would eventually grow to encompass a passion for social justice, a hunger for an egalitarian society, and a rage that has pushed me in the past and will continue to push me to fight for the voiceless millions. Standing there in that dank, dark room under shower heads that were never used, I thought to myself, how? How could one man have killed so many? How could we, as an international community, have let him get away with all this? And how could we, as united now as we will ever be, stop this from ever happening again? Today, there are many ways. We live in a world of technology, a world of tweets and of forums and of blogs. With freedom of speech protected by the power of internet, Occupy Wall Street has become Occupy the World, and Egypt has, to an extent, rediscovered the meaning of democracy. But there are still places where the web's power still cannot reach into. There are countries still which information which so wants to be free is suppressed. In the 1970s, Cambodia, already destabilized by the loss of their monarchy, fell to the Khmer Rouge. In under 3 years, the extreme social engineering and persecution of anyone with an education or connections to foreign governments, or even anyone who wasn't able to work hard enough for the movement, led to countless millions of deaths. It is estimated that out of a total population of 7 million, over 2 million, possibly more than 3, were killed. In the Khmer Rouge's democratic Kampuchea, we see a reflection of Nazi ideology. In Germany, Martin Niemöller, a priest, was detained at Dachau concentration camp for not being enthusiastic enough about the Nazi movement. In Cambodia, many relocated city dwellers were detained for not being able to support the Khmer Rouge through their farming. Martin Niemöller survived, whereas 6 million Jews, 2 million Cambodians, and 40,000 Russian prisoners of war were all killed, and they all had rights under the Geneva Convention. So what is it that I'm trying to say? Well, World War II wasn't just what a crazed German fanatic did to the rest of the world, nor was the Khmer Rouge what a crackpot communist government did to Cambodia. These extreme abuses of human rights are what a human has done to other humans. It could happen anywhere. And I say happen because still in our modern 21st century of technology and of tweets and of Facebook, our most basic of human rights are still being fiercely denied. Burma may have taken the right step in releasing Aung San Suu Kyi. Syria may have taken the right step in holding a referendum. But there still is a long way to go and many mountains to tackle before all the animals, as George Orwell might have said, are truly equal. In a similar speech I gave to my school, I talked about my dream of studying human rights law, perhaps even working for the UN, when he turned and said to me, "You know, human rights lawyers don't really earn as much as commercial lawyers, right? And that the UN has a lot of voluntary work." Now, these are the attitudes that global education combats. Without information, without knowing about Hitler or the Khmer Rouge, without global education, it is impossible for us, with the world at our feet, to know what to do. And we really do have the world at our feet. We can choose to do whatever we like, be it a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, an engineer, or even, dare I say, a hairdresser. Now, you may laugh and you may mock, but I have to tell you that Joe Bailey, the official hairdresser of the 2000 Olympic Games, was once a Ruse student. So as Steve Jobs would have said, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels. In short, you, ladies and gentlemen, you and these books will change the world. They will push the human race forward. Maybe this idea is a crazy one. Maybe I am a crazy one. But only people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. We youths are all, in a sense, round pegs in square holes. The young always are, always have been, and always will. There is no reason why we should be content to work as just another doctor in just another hospital, or just another lawyer in just another law firm. We need to think different, but how can we if we don't know why? Before I leave you all, I'd like to share a quote from Dachau survivor Martin Niemöller. After his release, he said, "First, they came for the communists, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a communist. And then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a trade unionist. And then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a Jew. But then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me." With global education, one cannot know, without global education, one cannot possibly know Martin Niemöller's story. Without information, one cannot know the wrongs that must be righted. Without global education, one can only wait for them to come for you. And one more thing. Follow your dreams, ladies and gentlemen, and you will change the world. Thank you.